Hi everyone, it's Miss Champagne. All right, let us continue. All right, we're talking from the book 3 Business Strategies to Get Contracts and Make Profits in Africa. You go, you do, you're done. And let us continue from chapter 10. And chapter 10 is called How to Conduct Meetings. Now, once again, my company is named Jump Asia, Jump Africa. And the reason is because I lived in Asia so much or so long, I'm able to pick up on African business etiquette because they're almost identical to Asian business etiquette. And a lot of my African colleagues, they get mad when I say this, but I've been very successful in doing business in Africa, and that's because of my Asian background of teaching and conducting business in Japan and China. So there is a connection there. If you want to argue the point, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. All right, now, I talk about in the book how since I've conducted and attended many Japanese meetings, I've learned that when I'm outside of Japan, I have more Japanese mannerism. Now, I've noticed that a lot more when I go to America or anywhere. Like, I'm almost more like Japanese. Like, I don't like a lot of noises. I like things to be very formal. I want things to be organized, tidy, and clean. And I'm not to say that other people aren't like that as well in the world, but I've just noticed this of me lately. Now, I also find that the business meeting structures are similar to that in Ghana and Rwanda. They're very, very formal and indirect as well. Now, I'm going to give you some steps on how to conduct meetings. Number one, depending on the type of business you're meeting, you need to arrive an hour or two to get there on time. Especially in Ghana. Ghana's roads are like a beast. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but those roads are very tough on your body. Very, very tough on your body. And like, I live in Japan, so I'm used to very, roads that are smooth. And that's why I love Rwanda. The roads in Rwanda are really smooth, just really, really organized. I love that. So in Ghana, you need to leave at least 2 hours. In Rwanda, I would say maybe an hour, but I get there on time. When you get there, you need to be seated in the lobby. This is not the time to be on your phone. If you need to check email or stuff, take out your laptop and do it there. I mean, you could totally be playing a game. No one would know because you're on your laptop. It looks more professional. But if you're on your phone, most likely, I mean, most people do their work on their phone anyways, but my point is you don't want to look like you're playing in the lobby. Okay? Now, prior to conducting your demo lesson, you're going to have a one-on-one meeting with the manager or managers. Now, also, this is not the owner of the business, unless this is like a very small business. And I've noticed in Ghana, like in Rwanda, I was able to I was able to meet more business owners. In Ghana, I was only able to meet the managers, which is not the point I'm trying to make is that, like in America and Rwanda, meeting the owner is what gets you the contract. In Ghana, the owners are hidden away, like literally, they're hidden away, and I'll talk about this a little bit more. But you'll be meeting the manager, not the owner of the business. Now, when the manager invites you into the office, you need to wait until he or she tells you to sit. So this is similar to Japanese business etiquette. And then what I like to do, I present my business card with them, and I use the Japanese style of doing that, where you hold your business card like this, and then I like to give a small candy. I'm always having Japanese candy. So I always have a candy like this with it. Can you guys see this? This is peach. Okay. And then, yes. So then they'll get the business card and the small gift, which is the candy. Now, the manager will thank you for coming. You should make some small talk. Now, Americans, Black Americans and Americans in general, we're not good at small talk because we want to get straight to the business. That's not good. In other cultures, everywhere else, I'm pretty sure they make small talk. So you're going to have to talk about the weather. You're going to talk about, where you're from and how you like Ghana or Rwanda or something that you can relate to the person you're talking to. And then eventually they'll bring up the topic of doing business, okay? And the thing is that people who are not American, especially in Africa and Asia, they want to know you first prior to doing any business. And these meetings can be anywhere from 10 minutes to maybe an hour because they're getting to know you. And that's just the way it is. So also, if you try to force them to talk about business and they keep bringing it back to maybe football, then that means they don't feel comfortable talking with you about that yet. So you're just going to have to fill them out. All right, now, after you have your small talk, after you have the small talk, the fourth step is you want to repitch your services to them to let them know. Fifth, you want to suggest that after your demo lesson, that you have another meeting to discuss getting hired. Sixth, do the demo lesson or the presentation, and once that's complete, then you can ask about who is in charge of the training budget, or the owner. I would prefer to talk to the owner. And if you are leaving pretty soon, you're going to have to do it via email, and you're going to have to follow up and call until you get a yes or a no. But if people are not returning your emails and phone calls, then that most likely means no. All right, so my point is there's no one way to do business in Africa. They're just not. What works for me because that's my personality. What works for somebody else works for them. But you have to know, is it going to work, yes or no? Because Africa is a huge place. It takes a lot of money and effort to go there. And you need to really know, are you going to make profits and get a contract off of what you're doing? It does not make sense to keep going to Africa on business trips if, number one, you're not meeting your customer, number two, you're not pitching to your customer, number three, you're not pitching and or asking for contracts. Why are you in Africa? If you're not doing those things, then just go on vacation. Don't waste your time if you're not going to follow the steps. That's all I'm saying. All right, anyways, guys, so thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.